So in this video, I want to show you an algorithm we can use to count the number of characters in a string. So I've got a little string here with just ABCs in it. And before we talk about a good algorithm, let's look at an algorithm that maybe is not ideal. And so what I'm going to do is, let me get rid of that. What I'm going to do is just make some accumulator values, variables, and we'll set them to 0. And then we're going to loop through our string. So for every character in the string, what I can do is I can say if the character is equal to A, then we'll say A count plus equals 1. And then we'll just copy that. Okay, oh, it's not having right. Change those to elifs. And we'll do it for B, and do the B count. And we'll do it for C, and we'll change the C count. And then let's see if it worked. So okay, and oh, okay, so there we go. So now we've got our counts, and that's correct because we got 3 A's, 2 B's, and a C. But if we go over to the ASCII table here, you can see that this is not a good way to count characters in a string if we're going to allow every single character in the string to be there. So what I want to do, right, because we have from 32 to 126, there are 95 different characters that you can type into a string, and I don't want to make 95 different accumulator variables. So I'm going to do a different strategy, and I'm going to make a list as an accumulator variable. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a counts list, and I'm just going to say 0 times 128. And the reason I'm picking 128 is because the ASCII values go from 0 to 127, so that's 128, right, different things. And what this is going to do here is make a list of 128 zeros. It's kind of a bizarre syntax, but we're going to make a thing. So I'll print it out so you can see it. And let me get rid of that and that for now. And let's just look at this counts list. Okay. So there we have 128 zeros. And so here's my strategy. What I want to do is go through the string, and when I see the character A, what I want to do is go to my list, and I want to increment element 97 in the list. So that might be, like here. And when I see the letter B, I want to increment element 98 in the list. So, and I'm not sure if that's right. I'm not counting. Okay. So what that means is I need to be able to find the ASCII value for a character, right? Because once I find the character, I want to increment that element in the list. So we're just going to go Python, and we'll go character to ASCII, and we'll click a link, and see what we find. And somebody said, oh, you use the ORD function for this. So if I do ORD of a character, it tells me the ASCII value. So let's just not worry about the counting yet, but let's print. And I'll do ORD character. And let's see what we get. Okay. And let's see, we got an A, and is 97, and a B is 98, and a C is 99, and then we got 2 more A's and a B. So we're on to something. Okay. So rather than count the character, what I want to do is just get that number for that trailing parenthesis. And I'm going to take my counts list, and I'm going to use the ASCII value as the index of where I'm going to count, and I'll add 1 to it. And let's print the counts and see what happens. So let's see. So here is the counts with nothing in it. And then here is my counts list with the A's, B's, and the C's counted. So that must be position 97, 98, and 99. And this is good because now we get to type, more characters in it. We'll just do some more lowercase letters. And you can see that the counts are starting to, increase. We can add some numbers to this. So let's just put some numbers at the end. And you can see that, let's see, here's where this must be where the numbers, that number area is. If I put some uppercase letters in here, everything seems to work. And you can start to see how different blocks are starting to fill up, right? And we can just look at the ASCII values and you'll see that, right, the numbers are the characters 49 through 57, and then you've got the capital letters and 65 through 90, and then the lowercase letters are the 97 through 126. We can even throw some punctuation in here. Okay, some symbols, let's see what happens. Okay, and everything still seems to be working. One little thing that we got to check on though is like, well, what if we wanted to have a quote character? And since my string ended with single quotes, so this is just something to be aware of. If I tried to put a single quote into my string, it doesn't allow it. And so what we have to do is escape this character. And so we do that by putting a backslash character, right? The backslash character, this is the one above the enter key, right? That's the backslash. The one you use for division, that's a forward slash, right? Okay, so we can just forward slashes are just, and so when this string gets read, this is actually going to get interpreted as a single character. These two symbols, in our code is actually a single character, which is the quote character, and and so somewhere in here, so here's my count list, and wherever element 39 is, that was, I don't know if it's this or where it is, but that's the quote character that got incremented. All right. So anyway, this is how you count characters. Oh yeah, one more thing is like, well, what if you actually wanted to put a backslash into your string? Let's see if this works. Okay. And I think it doesn't mind it because the backslash F doesn't mean anything. But let's say, like we want to do a backslash and let's say a, little n. Let's say this just happened to be in the string. This right here is going to get interpreted as a new line character, which is 10, I think. So let's say we'll go look in here, and we counted a new line character right there because the backslash n is a line break, but let's suppose this string is randomly generated and I don't want this counted as a new line character. I actually want this counted as a backslash character followed by an n character. Well, what you can do is you can escape the backslash. And so now this will get interpreted as a single backslash character. And we have the same situation with the quote, like, well, what if we had a backslash and a quote character, and I didn't want this to get interpreted as a single quote. I wanted this to be actually a backslash character and a quote. Well, then I just have to do it, like this. And so, anyway, this is how you count the characters, and just pay attention to when you're, let's say I broke something. I got to backslash the backslash and backslash the quote. All right. So anyway, this is how you count characters, and just keep in mind with that once quotes and backslashes start creeping into your string, you have to think about how you want them to be, right? How you want them to be interpreted, because just because of the way it works in code. If you're reading a file or something like that, you won't have this problem. All right. So that's it. And if you have any questions, let me know.